Hello everybody! Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Meet the Teams video. I'm here with the Slifer Slackers. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Sky, you go first.
Very well. Hello, my name is Lord of the Sky Dragon, mostly go by Sky, and I am the team leader and the reason for this name, which was originally a joke, and it was around the time where this whole tournament started, and it just kind of stuck. Yeah.
Okay, fair. Who's next?
I guess I'm next. Don't worry,
I
this
guess
ain't
so.
my real voice, but this is what I'm going with. I am Rogue Moon or Rogue General on YouTube, whatever. I'm just here to cause as much pain as possible.
It's working.
Mostly to himself as well.
I'll have no voice by the end of this.
Okay, is that all?
Yeah.
Alright, and then the last? But certainly not the least, potentially.
You can tell by the name. I'm a Dark Magician player. Not hiding that. And I'm just going to cause as much mental anguish as possible.
It's working.
I don't think they can see his name, but yeah.
Yeah, we cannot see your name.
Ah,
Oh.
very well. But if you can see my but if you can see my profile pic, it's the Ugandan Knuckles Dark Magician, of course.
What is your name,
For
though?
context, yeah.
Oh, my name?
Yes, you're supposed to be introducing yourself.
No, I'm Israel, man.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't get my last name so that way nobody doxes me.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. Well, alright. That being said, I suppose we'll just go ahead and jump into to asking some questions here. So, let's see. I'm curious about this one. This one just kind of came about in my head, so we're gonna throw it out there. How come Rogue is doing a voice and no one else is?
Because
What
that's
would
his own personal choice, I think.
For
It
every
was because
character
of-
I play in D&D, it is always an annoying voice unless I'm playing a barbarian.
This isn't.
Then it's just grunt.
This
Then
isn't
I
D&D
always
though.
play little, short people that just annoy people.
I wonder where
Uh.
that comes from, looking over at Rogue.
You know.
No, but he was doing the voice basically because he wasn't sure what deck he wanted. I showed him, I gave him an example of a deck. He's like, that deck's not good. Proceeded to show him why the deck actually was good, and he's like, oh, I'm going to do the Papyrus voice for the deck. And it's like, very well.
You show me this
All
deck
right.
because of my profile, or that's how you convinced me.
Yeah. I guess we can just say it now for like people to understand more. He's playing Skull Servants. And he's trying to do Skeletor / Papyrus.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
see?
man. Oh man. Okay. Well, let's move on from that. So, let's talk about let's talk about deciding on your team leader. Was how'd that come to be? Is there a story with that, or?
Ability, and I trust Slifer.
He was
Just
the one who
kinda-
got us. He practiced more than us. He was on way more than both of us.
Okay.
I was more the one to like keep everyone together, like hey, we should probably practice and like actually, start the conversations.
Also,
Okay.
our team name basically just. I immediately just pointed to him because the team name.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. So how about the ban list? You guys have much problems with the ban list? I know right before recording I had to point out that a card was banned for you guys. So other than that,
For I'll let you guys go first. I'll go last.
I don't know, just updating my deck every week because a new card I had in my deck got banned. Tad annoying, but all good.
How
Besides
about
that,
you, Lester?
Me, nothing really. When I saw the ban list and saw what was banned, I was like, let's see if I could bring some of these cards to notice. Because I was showing some of these cards to my team, and they're like, "Oh, you know that card after you show it in the duel, they're probably going to ask you to ban it or take it out, right?" It's like probably, but I triple checked because I like to use the obscure cards that people forget existed or have
well,
so much obtuse requirements to work that they're not worth it unless in a very specific situation.
Okay.
to be fair, you also thought the grass was not banned, and it was.
Yeah, grass has
When
been
me
banned for a
and
couple
Rogue
months now.
when me and Rogue saw it, we didn't see it on the list. I guess we were just both blind to the grass.
Don't say I'm blind. I just took your word for it. I had never looked at the ban list once. I just let these two tell me if it was
Well then,
banned or not.
me and Slifer looked and we didn't see it, but it was there. But hey, that's
Yeah,
why we always want to check with the tournament admins before anything.
we should have known. We shouldn't have even touched grass. We
Never
should have.
touch grass. Never.
I mean,
Um,
I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna touch grass as much as I want.
We're
Too bad it's
gamers. We don't
banned.
touch grass.
I'm in Florida. I can do this.
you're kicked from the team. We're only two-person team now.
It's a two-man team
No.
now. It's all over. Okay.
But yeah, how I guess I also was kind of heavily affected by the ban list. It was at first it wasn't really that much of a big deal, but like in the middle, it was one specific card that's really important to my deck that got, and I think you know exactly which card I mean because I messaged you about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it got limited,
You're
which
lucky it's
at
even
least
legal at all.
yeah, I know exact. I have no defense for like it not to be limited. Like I know exactly why it is what it is, but it still upsets me because haha, funny card go burr.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Although I do have one question. I was surprised I didn't see a dragoon ban.
Who the fuck is
I didn't
playing
even see a
Dragoon in this format?
well, that's just fair. Like generically, like I've been so many where like, oh, we're gonna do a middle
Isn't
tournament, and then like, no,
isn't
immediately
Dragoon
ban
banned
dragoon.
in the isn't Dragoon banned already, like in the actual
I
game?
honestly don't think
No,
so, but like nobody plays Dragoon
no,
anymore. Dragoon's not been played
no. So
in
here's the thing:
forever.
TCG dragoon has been always at 3. OCG it was banned and then removed to limited to 1. So Worlds list you are now allowed to play 1 dragoon, but it doesn't matter because there are cards that are better than that. But a lot of people are like, oh no, dragoon, the Omni negate, we need to ban it. And I'm like, you do realize like half the cards that make dragoon good are not in the game, right?
Hmm.
I mean, I
Like
genuinely
a
just
lot of
don't
people, and
expect anyone to play Dragoon. If you want to, go for it, but like, I just don't expect anyone
you
to.
know, like when I see dragoon, I see it as a garnish in the deck. It's there as one of the possible end game boards, but not necessary. It's there just there.
It's
Most
not.
games I will not even use it.
It's not for
Well,
us to
So
worry
you get what
about.
I'm saying?
Don't worry yourself down to the bone.
I mean, like, I get it. I just don't see a single soul playing it, so I didn't touch it. Like, if they do, oh well. But you
I
know,
All right.
was gonna
Thank you
point out
for answering my question. I was curious about that. Thank you.
yep.
before the next question, I'm gonna point out, viewers, you might need to like hop off and on this video a couple times from the disgust of Rogue's bone puns that he's gonna be spewing, and as well in any of our matches.
Viewers. I just want to say, bon appetit.
God, that was very forced. Anyway, uh, so so we talked about the ban list and everything. So most of you guys, you know, two out of the three, don't really don't really have like much of a presence on the channel. You know, haven't really done any tournaments or anything like that. Well, we've seen Sky in a couple of the tournaments and everything, but how do you guys feel about most people not really knowing much about your guys' play styles, except for Sky, of course, because he's been in a lot of the tournaments, if not all of them. I believe all of them.
What
Not the
play
first
style?
one.
Not the first one.
And I guess that's correct.
What play
you?
style?
Okay. Well,
I just do memes.
okay. Well,
How
fair
I
enough.
win in Yu-Gi-Oh games is I make them force quit.
Well, if anyone was ever going to quit, it would have happened during the first match of the tournament. Nobody did, so I think you might be a little bit behind on that.
Hey, when tunes actually were still okay back in the day, I played them and people hated me.
I love
That's why
the
no
fact
one ever
that
played against me
people
in
hate me.
school.
We have a very silent person over here. Do you
Yeah,
have
it's hiding in
anything?
his corner.
Do you have anything to add? Or
I guess he doesn't,
I guess he
or
doesn't.
maybe he's.
He remains
Uh,
silent.
I'm gonna. Well,
Oh, and he's
oh,
gone.
Oh,
he's probably last. He was in the elevator, but
Oh, and he's back.
he's back. Lesser.
hello.
Well, while he gets situated,
Oh,
I'll take.
I saw his picture pop. Real
Yeah.
quick here.
Lester. Oh, his Wi-Fi.
Oh, excellent.
Of course.
Well, you know what? The show must go on.
Uh,
We're just gonna keep rolling.
yeah, he can hear us, so I'm just gonna repeat everything he says in chat.
Okay.
But anyway, what I think it's sort of an advantage because people don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
If another team kind of had the same idea, but I don't. I think they conducted or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, I believe so far, the teams who have won have had mostly members who are established. In round one, we saw Team Alter Egos win. Who two of their three members were established people who had played in a tournament before. And then at the next match, we saw shoot, I can't remember who was in the second match now.
Too many matches.
your team and another.
Oh yeah, it was my team, wasn't it?
Blaster says my niche is being a unknown. To never expect what I'll do with my insanity.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, he's a wild card. That because
Fair.
Rogue was in sort of one tournament, but Blaster hasn't been in any. So
Was I?
Yeah.
you're in like
Oh, I was in that one other system, but got out early, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it is a different one that
course.
didn't make it to YouTube.
Yeah. I don't remember how to get back on that game.
But
I got
yeah,
a new PC, so it deleted.
yeah. So so far, mostly established teams are the ones that have kind of been picking up wins. So that could bode very poorly for you guys since your opponents are a bit more established. Alex and Seals being in most, if not all, of the other tournaments. I don't think Seals was in the first one either. If I'm remembering correctly, he may have been. And then I don't think that Axel's been in any except for maybe the first one. I don't recall. So.
As well, Lester said he's apologizing to you for not being in the Master Duel tournament because he got in a car accident.
I mean, you got a good reason.
Skill issue. You know what? That's a skill issue.
Yeah, you should have just played while you were recovering from dying.
yeah, before you two hopped in, Lester was, saying Rogue, you really need to step up your game in fighting tornadoes. You can't believe you
I
you
have won 4 times. I'm still standing. I'm not even in
also
Tornado Alley.
he says the car lost. So
The car. Okay, I mean, hey, fair enough.
the God, the car got in a human accident.
The car got. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and move on from that there. Conversely, um, it could also be, to your guys' detriment that maybe you don't know other people's playstyles from not participating in the tournaments as well. How do you feel about that? You guys think you have a pretty good handle on your competition? I'll take that as a no.
Uh, I mean,
No.
we have the option of like watching videos and like quote unquote doing homework,
Yeah.
Dark,
but
Dark. This
we,
is
we
why
don't
I
want
go
to do that.
first. This is why we're letting Sky go last.
So
I'm first, so
you're gonna
I'm
scout him
I'm the
out.
person who takes the punches.
Okay, okay.
We made this strategy when I volunteered to be first player.
We,
Okay.
that might change depending on. We might mix it up, but who knows? We might
Okay.
have just revealed our strategy to everyone.
I mean, it's
But
okay. The
yeah,
first team did too.
yeah.
Listen, we didn't go for PR. You didn't tell me what not to say.
You're not fair.
Okay.
Uh,
So,
uh,
is that all you had to say, or you guys got anything else you want to say about the topic?
not really. It's I feel like it's more fun to like, just I don't know. There is something to be said about like being prepared, but there's also like there's just meeting on equal terms on just your skill and your deck and your cards.
Okay,
And I find that more fun.
that's fair. All right. So who do you
Um,
guys feel is like your biggest threat in
Oh,
the
can you
tournament?
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hello, can I? Okay,
yeah,
okay, now I can talk. Okay, so I don't actually have to say. You don't have to read that part for me then.
all right.
All right. So for me, I play IRL as well as in other servers. I have in some circles been known to literally cause hysteria for the way I build decks, but that's fine. It's just that my whole thing is if they leave me with a single life point left or they don't kill me in one turn, they're going to get mad over losing to BS.
I see.
My only warning is go for the throat.
Very confident. Okay. So who do you guys feel is your biggest competition in this tournament? Your biggest threat? It can be on your side of the bracket, maybe even on the opposite side.
My sanity.
Okay. Anyone
Uh,
else?
sorry.
I would.
Can you repeat
Hmm.
the question? I'm sorry. My headset died uh in the middle of you explaining the question.
So basically,
Sorry, folks. We're having a lot of technical difficulties today.
I'm just asking who you think your biggest threat is, biggest competition, who you most like are afraid of going up against. It could be a whole team, maybe a person, either on your side of the bracket or the opposite side. Um, anything like that.
I mean, our host here is very intimidating.
I've been getting that a lot during these interviews.
But I do think uh it's mostly because I did do some practice matches with this person.
Yeah,
I do want to face Seals, and it's fortunate that his team is the first that we're facing.
yeah. All right. Anybody else? Good talk.
Nope.
You got
Nope.
anyone, Blaster, or is it because you don't really know anyone?
I would feel that as long as you don't bring Koji energy, we have a good shot. But Seals, I have seen some duels of him before. Like I've lurked before. I've seen some duels before, and I'm like, no, they have a good shot. They have. I feel like Seals is probably going to be a very, very tough opponent. But then again, like we don't know every deck that other people have chosen. We don't know what their end goal is with the deck. It could go out anyway. It depends on what the RNG is at the end of the day with EDO.
Suppose that's true. All right. So moving on here. If you guys should win the tournament, right? We're doing prizes. If you guys should win the tournament, what structure deck do you guys want, or do you want one?
Again, I'll let you guys go first. I'll go last. This one.
I got no clue. I forgot there was even no award.
I've also gotten that a lot this tournament during these interviews.
For a second, I forgot about reward too. I thought it was just bragging rights at this point.
Nope.
I think we haven't talked about it forever.
Mako deck.
I don't
Water.
I don't think water has like a really good structure that's recent, do they? It's just like the Daedalus one from way back.
And I guess we'll just say
Ice Barrier got
figure
one,
it
didn't
out
they?
if we win.
Yeah,
I
Ice
guess
Barrier
we'll
got a deck,
figure it
but
out
here's
to
the
win.
thing. The water deck is actually coming out. They've already confirmed it. The water structure deck to pair with the Fire King one. They're giving a Daedalus retrain.
I mean, like if it comes out in time, we could do that. If it comes out in time.
That's true. That's true.
Something that I know we had in the first duel, we had the two evil teams versus each other.
Yeah.
But the most evil thing that would happen specifically if we win, is you having to pay shipping for me.
I mean, no.
That's evil. That's actually evil. Why would you do this?
Yes.
Why would you do this?
That's what I signed up for.
I'm just gonna say right now, if we win, we're gonna think of something different because I don't want you to have to pay shipping to Sweden. So.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what? Just give him get B to get a plaque for him, like a special role on the server.
I already have that.
Yeah, he does have a role in the server already.
Just call him Duelist Kingdom winner.
Alright, Blaster.
3 packs of Terminal Revenge, loose packs.
Well, that is the second place reward, so hopefully you get second place then.
Hey, that's fine. I'll make sure to get second place on my entire team.
Well, that would your entire team would have to play second. So.
Damn.
I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'll somehow get second the entire tournament. No, I'm joking, but
you're somehow gonna enter into the duel before your go and take out us too.
Oh no. But okay, but if I were to get a structure deck, I would probably request the Korean Dark Magician structure deck. It's $11. I just want it because I like rarities, and I like how the rarities look for that.
Oh, okay. Why Korean specifically?
Oh, the Korean one is because they feel like the Japanese one. They're just like the Japanese ones. They have the same weight and feel. It's just you just can't use, but they're still in English, so they have the exact weight and feel of that, but they can only be used in Japan and the Eastern game. And if I ever go visit friends, I could play it without having to buy the cards to play it over there.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Alright, interesting choice.
I guess I didn't give a specific answer, but probably the new Dark World one.
That's a good one. I have that one.
Yeah. If I didn't already have them, I would either have said Slifer or Jack, the Dark Red Dragon Archfiend, but
yeah.
Okay.
Wow. I may be slow. I just realized what your profile is, Dark.
Okay,
I
well
just remember what game that's from.
do elaborate.
It's from that pizza making game, isn't? Oh, not the pizza, the barista, where they literally make the drinks or food or whatever it is made out of.
You talk about my profile picture on Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's not?
It's an old Xbox 360 profile picture.
Oh my gosh. No,
Yeah,
I'm just.
I
Well-
thought that looked familiar. I thought that looked fucking familiar. I'm like,
I feel like Rogue just revealed his age right now.
It would appear.
Doesn't matter. I know that I'm the oldest here in this conversation.
I'm probably the youngest.
Yeah.
Okay, well, with that all being said, guys, I think that's going to do it for the questions, and we're going to go ahead and get into the deck profile. So I will see you guys there.
I have 3 Skull Servants for the factors to be fodder in the graveyard so I can boost up my King of the Skull Servants over there. I have my Mad Flame Kaiju to go with to work out with the other Kaijus just so I can clear their field and my field so I can have a more powerful monster. Algamazira, well, kind of basic. He's there to stop attacks if I'm in a tough jam. The Sea Turtle Kaiju is again to work off the other Kaijus just to be on the opponent's side so I can destroy it. Jericho Ballin is just used so I can get a beefy defense guy out there and send another one of my Skull Friends to the grave. This is this is just so I can take control of a card just to buy myself some more time for other things that happen. This also is just to work off the same effect of, hey, I can banish this for this and this, get my Skull Servants out or get in the graveyard. Mizuki is just there so I can bring back a Skull Servant King if I need to, or one of my other mini Skull Servants. When the Spirit of Treat is to use so I can special summon something from my graveyard, again, like King Skull Servant and my other Skull Servants. White Princess is just used so I can start my whole combo with my others, so I can send more skeletons to my graveyard to bring them back. Uni Zombie. This is to also just send Uni Zombie usually just to start off my combo is to send him to the graveyard and slowly start my other effects, my Skeleton Warriors, Skeleton Servants. The Lady of White is just used so it can also be used for my Skeleton Servants as just things I choose to go to my banish zone so I don't have to choose my Skull Servants. White Baking is to also set up my combo with White Prince and White Princess is to just send more monsters to my graveyard and bring them back. White Mare is just a is to bring back my White Prince or White Blue. I can't speak right now. White Mare or Skull Servant or Lady White or King Solvent, special summon or bring back from the graveyard. White Lord is again just to set up my combo with my other Skeleton Servants to start their combo. White Prince is how I would get out my King Skull Servant or Lady in the White. King of Skull, kind of he's my ace in the hole for this deck. More skeletons, Skull Servants in the graveyard, stronger attack he gets. It's like Slifer kind of. This is just so I can banish one, just so I can get more cards in my hands. This is just to throw away cards to get more skeletons in the graveyard. This is also just to get more cards in the graveyard so I can activate effects. This is just to use in case I need to bring back one of my cards or use it against one of my opponent's cards in their graveyard. Interrupt Kaiju is just as a all-out failsafe if my Skull Servants are not working. This is so I can special summon a card, and in case I'm a tight bind and need to bring back a Skull Servant to set up a combo or not. Twin Twisters with my back row is to get rid of any bad spells that are going to interrupt me from doing anything. This is out of all my effects, the banished monsters, these are going to be used. My Burial from Different Dimension will be used to bring them back to my graveyard. Call of the Mummy is just so I can special summon a card from my hand and won't have to use up my summon so I can bring back more in case I need to get some extra deck or just work off both their effects. Piercing the Darkness is just how I can draw another card and just help out my overall effects. Legacy of the Duelist is in case I don't have Twin Twisted anymore, I need to get a back row or just to use so they can other people who use their spells get rid of this and leave the rest of my cards open to be used. Needlebug, it's a simple trap, but it's used to mill my deck a little more. Red Eye Zombies is just a extra deck. I probably won't be relying too hard on my extra deck, but they are good here just in case I need to pull something off with high attack and not just effects. This is just to get rid of another card on my opponent's field, and give it to me, just for a few minutes. Well, not minutes, just a turn or two. And this to also help me get more cards in my graveyard. Underworld of the Goddess, the Cursed Sea. This is just to help cancel out effects in case they get annoying to me. This is this is how to get rid of my opponents in case they have a high attack monster that's been really annoying and I can't get over. This is just to grab a card on my opponent's side of the field, put it on defense if I need to block their summoning zone or it has the effects that can benefit me. This card is used in case I need to get rid of something on my opponent's field, just shuffle it back in the deck if it's being annoying. Or my deck if I just don't need it anymore. This is used for another back row, get rid of spell traps that have been annoying and can be very helpful. This is also used to this can help me draw cards in case because of my zombie deck, and also can put back if I need to for some reason, put on a defense on my opponent's side. This in case the opponent's being annoying with defense, and I can just do some piercing to make them stop doing that. Oops. This is used to. This is just to get rid of my opponent's cards if I need to be done with. This is also just to send more cards to the zombies to my graveyard if need be. This is to bring back my banished high level monsters. And this is just a buffer if I need to. And that is it.
Alright, here's my deck. It's more generic zombies, but my own take. First here is Algol's Macera. I have only one, but it is really good protection, and I can usually it's either in the hand or in the grave, and I can very easily get it into the grave fast, and it's recurring, so it is very useful. I'll say that. Next is Doom King Balladrock, which is just a very good zombie monster, especially with Zombie World on the field, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but yeah, or any field spell. It comes back every standby phase. Next is Necro World Banshee, for me to get Zombie World from my deck to the field immediately by quick effect banishing, and as well if I have it on the field, it protects my Zombie World, so it's more a play for that. Next, Gosuki. Gosuki. It's a good way for me to send a zombie monster from my deck to the grave. Even its second effect would be useful with several of my cards having effects when banished. Which allows me to special summon a zombie monster from my hand. Gosuki, banish it, special summon a zombie from my grave. Nice, easy, and very useful. Ghost Wyvern of the Underworld, which probably not a lot of people use. Gets me on a normal or special summon, gets me Zombie World, or no, Ghost Fusion, sorry. Ghost Fusion from my deck to my hand. Which for my one fusion down here. But as well, if this card is banished, it allows me to send a level 2 or lower tuner from my deck to either add it to my hand or send it to grave, which could either go into my Shinobi Spectral Sword or my Glow Up Bloom, which both have good effects in the grave. Next, I have Volcarion, the Rotting Phoenix, a very new card, but a great just special summon. If I control zombie, I can special summon this card from my hand, and then I can return one. I can return it to my hand to special summon any zombie. Like for example, if I have Doom King clogging up my hand, I can bring it out that way. It is just a very good. Again, just extending. Shinobi Squire. Normal summon gives me Spectral Sword on the field, instant level either level 6 Synchro or Link 2. Shinobi Solitaire, 3 of them. It's tribute 1 zombie, special summon any level tuner, zombie tuner with 0 defense. Uni Zombie, Shinobi Spectral Sword, Glow Up Bloom, even Volcarion, the Rotting Phoenix. It has very many options and it can go into very many different things depending on what I need. Uni Zombie, one of the most useful zombie monsters in the game. Like discard 1 card and increase. It's mostly for the mostly for the cost actually. Discarding and sending 2 different cards from my hand and the deck on the same turn on 1 card. But the level changing could come in handy. Shinobi Spectral Sword, I can banish it as well as 1 other non-tuner zombie monster to bring out any synchro I have access to all these synchros. No matter depending on what else is in the grave. Next, Glow Up Bloom. If this goes sent to grave, while Zombie World is on the field, I can instantly bring out Doom King. Which is mostly what it will be used for. Book 3 Book of Lives. I would usually have Monster Reborn, but Book of Life is a little bit. Just have that little extra. It does need a monster in my opponent's grave, but that's usually not a huge problem. Raigeki, of course, especially this art is very, very specifically important. Harpy's Feather Duster, good back room, and as I said, Ghost Fusion. It does have extra effect that I have to use either monsters that I control. That is does not help a lot, or is a little bit limiting. But if I have lower life points than my opponent, I can banish 1 card from my deck to use for this. Which a lot of cards have banish effect, like Solitaire, Squire, and even if I draw it naturally, Ghost Wyvern has that banish effect. Next, Zombie Necronize. If there's a level 5 or higher zombie monster in the field, I can take control of one of the monsters my opponent controls into the end phase. It does not have to be my level 5 or higher monster, like for example with Zombie World. It is a sort of removal that most people aren't expecting, and I can either use it for like Synchro, Link, or even Fusion. So it does come in handy. Terraforming to get zombie world. Foolish for just another way to get cards to my grave. Parallel Twister. Not probably not the most like best card, but it's more for me and my teammates. I would probably not use this in a different zombie deck, but in this, we're tag teaming with the team. It can be useful to just clear up the back row with my teammates left behind spells and traps that I would not be able to use, and as well get any sort of destruction on the field. It can be spell or trap or monster. One zombie power struggle. Sometimes you have to hit things. If it hit things hard, and I can't just pop them. So, but my monsters don't have the highest attack points in the world, so this helped with that. Call of the Mummy, just in the start, could be it's very useful to just special summon any zombie I want in the beginning, or when I don't have any monsters on my field, as well in the late game. Could be a use with Parallel Twister. Zombie World, probably the most important card in the deck. I only have one because it is limited by the ban list, but it is still very useful even at one. And next up, a weird pick is the Transmigration Prophecy. I can target 2 cards in either grave and shuffle them back into the deck. This could be used for bringing back Zombie World into my deck if it's ever destroyed, or just remove targeted cards in my opponent's grave that they like either trying to use their effects or bring back. Metaverse, again, bring out Zombie World. And Return of the Zombie, most people would think of this as it does say banish 1 zombie monster on the field, not your field. So again, with Zombie World, I could banish a monster that my opponent has on the field, and it's better than what most people see on the first glance. Alright, the extra deck, Dragon Necro Nether Soul Dragon. It can't be anything by battle, but it gives me tokens. It's more here for options than anything. It's not a main win con or even the main big monster, but it is. I have not pointed this out yet, but my deck is just not. I can so this later. Last. Shorinu Sun Saga, just a great monster. 2 of them for recursion. If I bring one out, I can. When it's brought out, I can shuffle back any zombie synchro monsters and destroy that many cards. Those are either banished or in the grave. It does work on itself, so if one is in either banished or in the grave, and I bring out the other, that one returns to the X deck, and it could just continue on. Red Eye Zombie Dragon Lord. Just very useful to be able to bring out a zombie during my opponent's turn. Could be, for example, Necro Banshee to protect Zombie World, for example. Drogon Saga can just be a big beat stick sometimes, and that's all you need. Skeletal Dragon Felgrand, another removal option, banishing whenever a zombie is either when it's special summoned, or when another monster is special summoned, I can negate the effect of monsters on the field. Random Zombie Necro Dragon. A little bit just for nostalgia. It this deck is a lot like a lot just based on the original Zombie World Structure deck, which was my first ever deck, so that's what this is mostly based on. Journey Samurai Saga. Just a not a huge, but it's for a lot of synchro climbing. It's why it's mostly here. Mortal Dragon, another way to get monsters in the grave and maybe even help lane climb. Or synchro climb, sorry. My Xyz, number 22 Zombie Stein. Quick effect, attach one card from this card, negate the effect from this card, send one card from your hand to grave, then target one face-up card your opponent controls. This change basically negates the effect of one card on my opponent's field. It is also a bit for just the attack stat, but that could be useful. And number 23, Lancelot, Dark Knight of the Underworld. It can attack directly where it has Xyz materials, and when it does deal damage, I can target one face-up card on that my opponent controls and destroy it. As well, the next two effects that activate after Lancelot is on the field, it automatically detaches the materials and negates them. It can be a bit dangerous, but for me, I had to. It's not something that people think of because it's not usually a card you see. Yuki Ona, the Absolute Seer of Mayakashi. Just a good monster that can weaken my opponents very easily. As well as this one that negates effects and can bring back a zombie synchro monster that is banished in case. Vampire Sucker, that is allows me to draw more cards. But that is mostly what she is for. And Flying Mary, I have a lot of level 5 or higher zombie monsters. Not in the main deck, but most of my synchros and even my fusion. So it's a good way to get those back, and as well, it does have an effect while it's in the continuous, in this trap zone. Now, this as my last little thing. This deck is kind of weird, especially with the actual deck, but it's mostly for my own playstyle. I don't like having just one specific combo I do. This is for me to have options. I like being stopped and then being able to go into something different, or not having the exact same thing that my opponents can predict. So yeah, that is mine.
Hey there, everyone. This is Dark Magician Glazer Israel over here. I'm over here with my Dark Magician deck list for the Hive tourney. I went with Dark Magician because, like, my variant I feel like I'm comfortable with. I know that some people are like, oh, it's the Yugi Boomer. Well, I like the deck, I know it best. So this is what I came with. Over here in my list, I'm running 3 Dark Magician, the original. Some people like to run 2, maybe even 1. I feel 3 is comfortable with this variant of the deck. I feel like that's just enough. For the secondary card, I'm going with Tamias the United Dragon. This card helps support what Tamias couldn't, since that card is unsearchable. This helps facilitate diffusion summons by sending a spellcaster, so it helps me fix my hands if need be. as well as bringing an extra body on the field if I need to continue extending or get rid of bricks in my hand. For the third card on the list, I use Palladium Oracle Mahad. I use it mostly for its passive effect or to facilitate Soul Servant for the draw 4 turns. But also being able to draw it is not, well, I have ways to stack the deck to make it feasible. I do appreciate the effect of being 5k beater against any dark type, which what I find is one of the most common attributes in this game. For the next card, we have Primite Imperial Dragon. Well, with the Primite packages, since I first saw the cards come out, I found that they do help facilitate these decks and give the deck new life as well as possibilities to actually play and not contend, but at least bring a fair enough matchup to the game. With this one, I use it mostly for the negating effect, being able to just have a pseudo skill drain effect off of its summon. It's pretty easy, as well as since it only requires to tribute a normal monster to summon it, makes it not so hard. For the next card on the list, we have the Dark Magician Girl. Most of the cards facilitated in Dark Magician require her or mention her, and since we still don't have the Sarcophagus Magician Girl yet, this is going to be the one currently in the deck still. She's there to facilitate as well as to draw combos, as well as continue on with the other Magician cards. For the following next card, I have Oracle Mana. This card I basically use because it's good for targeting effects. With most cards that target, is a good way to protect my level 7 or higher spellcasters from destruction, as well as being able to float into the Dark Magician Girl. It's a good souls target to send as cost. With most cards that are targeting or stopping effects, it's a good way to help if someone tries to stop the souls. The next card on the list, we have Barrel. Now, this is one of the, I feel like, the deck's best new starters. Being able to set any of the Primite spells or traps to set up, as well as tributing itself to get Dark Magician in the graveyard to facilitate more of the deck's combos, I feel like it does well enough. For the next card on the list, we have Blazing Cartesia. Now, yes, this is a branded card, some people say, but due to its being a light attribute spellcaster and a level 4 at best, it helps facilitate with the toy engine for this deck. Being to quick play fusion summon into any of my fusions does help, and doing it during either player's turn while recurring herself, it makes use for the deck. Next, I'm running 2 toy soldiers. Toy cards are basically used for Magician Soul lines, as well as setting up and searching. Soldier itself has the neat effect of allowing me to add any light level 4 monster from the deck to my hand if I have Toy Box up, plus being able to float after being sent from spell and trap card from graveyard to come back as a body on the field does help to continue extending link plays or potential fusion plays. Tank I do appreciate and is very helpful. It helps me get out my level 6s or my level 6 or lower monsters. This does facilitate my deck, allowing it to end up float into the other cards if I already extended a combo piece to bring it back. Here's one of the light targets I was mentioning previously. While in this tourney Effect Veiler is banned, there are very, very funny or niche cards that have similar effects. This is one of them. Mystical Elf of White Lightning, while I control a normal monster that's level 5 or higher, as a quick effect, special summons herself to negate that monster's effect. Now, unlike Veiler, this doesn't target, and it's a permanent negate, so even if they did book or move the monster to the graveyard or remove it, it still negates the effect from when it activated. It doesn't care where it does, it just negates it. And I find that neat, not to mention the fact that during the battle phase, quick effect, I can special summon a normal monster from either graveyard if my opponent has one, and my opponent is forced to attack the monster I revive. So that way, it's a good way to eat hits as well as save my life points. And if they're willing to waste a negate on something like this, well, I'm fine with that. Photon Jumper, while being one up, I was debating on running 2 or 3 of this, as since it is a toy soldier target, it allows me to search this. Originally in the deck, this was going to be Electromagnetic Turtle to end the battle phase, but I found like this does the same thing while keeping its use and still being able to use for later on. I was debating on getting the Galaxy Spell or Trap or the Photon Removal Spell, but I was deciding on with how I like my deck playing. For the next one, I'm playing 2 Rod. I was either debating on cutting it to 1, but I found like 2 Rod helps the deck better off, as well as if I see it. I don't want to see too much of it as I said before, my best normal target now to summon is Barrel. Here I'm running 3 Magician Souls, one of the best starters in the game. Being able to send any level 6 or higher spellcaster from deck to grave, while being able to special summon this self, is amazing. It being additionally a Dark Magician card helps me recur my resources to summon, to play on my opponent's turn, or to help me extend my plays. As I mentioned earlier with Toy Box and the Toy Soldiers and Toy Tank, they count as spells and traps when they're face down, which means this gives me a draw too, while also allowing me to get their trigger effects to bring them back and continue playing from then. Illusion of Chaos I'm playing at 2. I was playing it at 3 before, but I felt 2 was a fair enough. Seeing 3 of these, since it's a hard once return as well as it being a ritual, like I appreciate the card, but 2 felt like the best for this deck. Over here, we're playing 1 Magicalized Fusion, it being a fusion spell to banish my materials from graveyard or from field as well. Self-explanatory. Over here, we have Bond between teacher and student. Well, this card says while I control a Dark Magician, I can special summon a Dark Magician Girl from deck, graveyard, or hand, and then set 1 Dark Magic attack, Dark Burning, or Dark Burning Magic, or Twin Burst from the deck to the graveyard, or deck to field. This being able to help me set up clear removal, Burning being, and with the best removal cards being either Magic Attack or Dark Burning, I went for Dark Burning. I normally do play Magic Attack, but I felt like I could hold off on this since I already have enough cards I feel that can remove back row. Next, I have a singular copy of Monster Reborn. It's a generic revival card. Mostly it's just to extend the play or basically to see if I'm going to snipe whatever my opponent has to continue comboing or extending, or to finish. For the next card on the list, I have Dark Magic Expanded. Dark Magic Expanded is one of these unique cards that came back out in 2016. Its effect is for every Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl in the graveyard, it gains the following effects. If there's 1, it gains 1,000 attack, 1 Dark Spellcaster until the end of the turn. If there's at least 2 of those in the graveyard or on the fields, it makes all my spells and traps, when they activate, spell speed 4. And also my spells and traps can't be destroyed by card effects. So having my spells and traps be spell speed 4, as well as can't be destroyed by card effects, does count as a good protection. I can't stop most banish effects, but we can't prepare for everything. The final effect is if there's 3+, all dark spellcasters I currently have become unaffected by card effects until the end of the turn. This makes it another Eternal Soul-like effect, but this affects all my dark spellcasters, allowing them to basically become immovable. Yes, I lose to the Kaiju, but it does eat against the Super Poly, since it's unaffected. Soul Servant being able to stack the deck, allow me to draw what I want, as well as place, as well as the banish effect for per copy. As I mentioned earlier, for every Palladium monsters with different names, as well as Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl with different names. On the field and in the graveyards, I draw a card. This goes from a draw 1 to a draw 4. It's a very fun card. It's very niche, and I like it. It helps facilitate, as well as comboing on later off with some of our fusion monsters like Magicians. Next card back to the Primordials, a Primordial Drill Beam. So this card has the neat effect of being a quick play that if I control a Primite card or a normal monster in my hand, or a normal monster or a level 5 or higher Primite monster on the field that's not a token, I can target a card on the field, negate the effects, and banish it. Me playing Dark Magician, it's pretty obvious. The Dark Magician, all this is mostly support for it itself. Next card on the list is Super Poly. Super Poly is here for a very niche card that's later on that I'll show you later in the extra deck. Secrets is our searchable quick play / ritual. Does as it says, I can either fusion summon or ritual summon, as long as the materials are Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl for the ritual or fusion. Dark Burning Magic is our field wipe. It only cares if at the time I control Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, it destroys all my opponent's cards. So even if they book it or remove it, As long as I activated this card while they were on the field at the time, it will still trigger. Piercing the Darkness is if I normal or special summon a non-token, I draw a card. Example being Dark Magician, and I use it for the additional effect. Whenever an attack is involved or declared, whether they attack me or I attack, if I use a normal monster like Dark Magician or a monster that used Dark Magician as material like Synchro, Ritual, Fusion, Xyz, anything that's not a link, it gains the effect of Starving Venom, where I'm able to steal your attack points. I will always be bigger, so it's used to pressure, and it lasts until the end of the turn. So it's a strong enough monster that's able to pressure and push back at your opponent. Toy Box is the piece I was talking about earlier, part of the Magician's Souls package. Being able to win once per turn when they declare an attack, and it's per copy. All the effects on Toy Box are soft once per turn per copy. When you declare an attack, I can send a face down card. Not spell or trap, face down card, whether it be a set field spell, a set monster, or set spell or trap. I can send it to the graveyard to destroy my opponent's attacking monster. And it also has the effect to set 2 toys from hand, deck, or grave. The final effect of Toy Box is I can pop 2 spells or traps in the graveyard, so if I have multiples, I can destroy my already set toys. That way I can trigger their effects like I do with Magician's Souls. Circle, one of our best cards in the deck, allows you to scry at the top 3 cards of your deck. Search for a Dark Magician or a spell or trap that mentions it. This allows us to help with our stack in our deck as well as grabbing any materials we can. While we have more Dark Magician cards in this deck, I can still whiff with this like any other deck. Primite Lordly Load. This is one of the best Primite cards we have in the game currently. This adds any Primite from deck to hand, and then I can choose to declare a normal monster card and special summon that monster in defense mode. This helps me get the Dark Magician from the deck without having to use some of my other cards to cheat it out. It sets it up as well as allowing me to also search out. The only drawback with this card is that when special summon, monster special summons can't use their effect that turn. But the best part about this for the TCG, that effect only happens after you trigger this effect, which means you're allowed to use their special summon effects before you trigger the second effect of this. It also has the continuous effect of normal monsters and primate monsters gain 300 attack for every normal monster with different names in the grave. And it's per copy, so that stacks. If there's multiple of this, you gain a casual 300 per copy. The field spell Salvation, it gets us our best trap in the game, Eternal Soul. This allows it to set it directly from the deck, similar to what the True Light cards does. Sadly, we can't activate it the turn we set it, but that's fine. But it also has the additional effect of if you normal special a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, except during the damage stat, I can target one of the monsters, special summon a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from the graveyard with a different name from the monster that was mentioned. So if I use both, I can summon a Dark Magician, I can bring back the girl and vice versa. Next card on the list is Destined Rivals. This card is a unique card for both Blue Eyes and Dark Magician. This allows me to have a recurable skill drain. It just requires if there's a Dark Magician or a Blue Eyes that I control negate the effects of all monsters my opponent controls until the end of the turn. So having a pseudo 1-turn skill drain additional, it does help. It being searchable and I'm able to reset it does help with the deck too. I'm running 2 Eternal Souls. Eternal Souls has the effect of every Dark Magician in my monster zone is unaffected by opponent's card effects. Sad part about this card is if this leaves the field, it destroys all monsters I control. But it also has the effect where I can special summon a Dark Magician from hand to grave or add a Dark Magic attack or 1,000 Knives. Like I said, I sometimes have Dark Magic attack, but I chose not to do it for this build. Next card is the Omni Negate of the deck, Magician's Combination. Combination works like this. If I control a Dark Magician or a Dark Magician Girl on the field, I can tribute it and special summon a Dark Magician or a Dark Magician Girl of opposite name from hand or graveyard to negate any card my opponent used this turn. It doesn't destroy, however, it does negate. It also has the additional effect of if this card leaves the field while it's face up, it pops the card on their side of the field, being another form of removal if I need it. Last two traps in the main deck are Primate Resounding Reaction. It's the counter trap for the Primate. Basically, it's whenever your opponent would normal special summon monsters while I control a normal monster or a low 5 or higher Primate, I can negate the summon and banish that monster. The good thing about this is that during the standby, if I control a Primate, I can set this card again, but banish it. It being recurable as a recurable counter trap does help. Now we move on to the extra deck. Extra deck, we have Quintet Magician. This is a unique spellcaster that requires 5 spellcasters to summon, and it must be fusion summoned. If you remember correctly, I had Magicalized Fusion earlier. This is one of my ways to summon it to make it easier. When this is used using 5 spellcasters with different names, it nukes the entire opponent's field. It also has the very fun effect of this card, while it's face up on the field, can't be tributed, used as fusion material, or destroyed by card effects. It still can be targeted, but it is a nice way to literally help fight against certain decks. Next card on the list is Dragoon of Red Eyes, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Most iconic, one of the iconic cards currently for the deck. This card can't be destroyed by card effects, can't target it, and during the main phase, I can pop cards equal to the number of normal monsters I use for this. It's Dark Magician and Red Eyes, it would be 2, but I only have 1 Dark Magician, so it's a 1 card pop, and you burn for your opponent for the attack points it had. It also has the additional effect of once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, I can discard a card to negate that card, and if I destroyed it, gain 1,000 attack. So it's a good form of fighting. Next card on the list, one of my favorites in the deck, probably the best card for the deck currently, Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. Reason I'm go for this is mostly this deck is built around this one card. This card, while it's on the field, becomes Dark Magician, and while in continuous effect, your opponent can't target spells or traps you control with card effects, and cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. It helps against targeting as well as regular removal. The next card on the list will be Master of Chaos. Master of Chaos works like this. If I end up using a Dark Magician and a Ritual monster or a Chaos monster, I can summon it. When this card is fusion summoned, sorry, heard something real quick. When this card is fusion summoned, it basically allows me to special summon a light or dark from the graveyard. It also has the passive effect. If I tribute a light and dark monster, I can banish all monsters my opponent controls. This is good for clearing the field as well as having a form of removal, mass removal that doesn't directly destroy, making it easier to deal with. Next card on the list is Mysterion the Dragon Crown. This is a generic spellcaster that requires a dragon and a spellcaster. Can't be used as fusion material. Loses 100 attack for every banished card. However, if a monster uses the effect to special summon itself, I can banish all monsters with the same typing as that card and remove them from the game. This is another way of mass removal, especially against opponents that like to stick to one type of monster. Next card, one of my favorites, is the Dark Magician. Self-explanatory, it has Dark Magician, Dark Magician Girl. I can make it using one of them and one generic spellcaster or both. Once returned, if a spell or trap is activated during my opponent's or my whether it be my opponent or mine, I can draw a card. If it's spell or trap, I can set it immediately and activate it that same turn. It's good for having Eternal Soul or even the counter trap. It allows me to set it as well and use that counter trap that same turn. It's a very nice way to help set up as well as get me to continue comboing. This also works with cards like Super Poly, which require you to have a turn to set. This ignores that restriction. It also has the neat effect that when it's destroyed, it allows me to float into the Dark Magician and the Dark Magician Girl so that way I can still continue playing as well as eating the hits. Next card on the list is the Dark Cavalry. This card is a generic Dark Magician and Warrior fusion. It gains 100 in attack for every spell and trap on the field and in both players' graveyards. Has the passive effect of doing piercing damage whenever it attacks a defense position monster. And when a card or effect is activated that targets the card on the field, I can discard a card to negate the activation and destroy that card. And here comes for the funny super poly target I was talking about earlier. This is Magistus Chorozo. This card is the fusion, and it must either be fusion summoned or special summoned by sending the above materials. From my side of the field, if I'm summoning from my side for sending, or if I use Super Poly, I can fusion summon this using a Spellcaster monster and one Fusion, Secret Sea, or Link monster. Being able to summon this allows me to end up choosing it, since most of my opponents most likely will have an extra deck monster or a way to summon. This is a decent Super Poly target. It also being the way to, if I have a declare attack, I can negate it and have this card gain the same attack of the monster until the end of the turn. Allows me to recur monsters so that way I can end up having the monster bounce back, as well as having another way to deal damage, as well as if I feel a monster or an attack isn't worth doing. Next card is Ebon Illusion Magician. This is the rank 7 of the deck. I can summon this without even using the rank 7 if I have a rank 6 spellcaster exceeds on the field as material. Once per turn, I can detach one card from this, special summon a spellcaster normal monster from the hand or deck, Dark Magician, and when the spellcaster normal monster declares an attack, I can target a card my opponent controls and banish it. Each of these effects are once per turn and hard once per turn. So if I had multiples, I can't choose multiples of this effect out. Next card on the list is Norito the Moral Leader. It's a generic level 6, rank 6 speed. It goes like this. If I have 2 level 6 spellcasters, when my opponent activates a spell or trap, quick effect, I can negate the activation to destroy that card. Spell and trap, negate and removal. Good way to force my opponent to use effects, as well as choose up into the next rank. For the links, I have Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. She's generic link 5. She ends up being here just for me to have as a form of removal, as well as negating any graveyard effects that my opponent attempts to trigger, as well as being another way to negate the effects of all monsters my opponent controls. Having another way is a good way to do it, as well as since it's unaffected by cards that don't directly target it. It does have a decent form of protection to protect itself. And that's why we end up using Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Next card on the list. Sorry, every time I touch the card, it moves it. But next card is Unchained Abomination. Unchained Abomination is a link 4 that if a card on the field is destroyed by card effect or by battle, if it's destroyed by card effect, I can target a card on the field and pop it. Then if a monster is destroyed by battle, I can target another card on the field and pop it. And during the end phase, I can target a card on the field and pop it. It's a 3-card pop per turn. A decent generic link 4. It's nice enough and is a good option to combo off of Selene. Selene Magistus, the Queen of Master Magician. She's a good link that allows me to float into my link players as well as revive my dead spellcasters. Every spell card that's on the field or in the graveyard, she gains a counter during either player's turn during the main phase, and since she's not a once per turn, I can remove 3 counters and special summon a spellcaster from hand or grave in defense to the zone she points to. Being able to extend as well as extend my own Dark Magician plays should work well. Next card on the list is Dark, the Gloomy Charmer. It requires a Dark monster, which is most of my deck. This allows me to target a Dark monster in my opponent's graveyard to his own discard points to. If this card was destroyed by battle or by card effect, I can add a Dark monster with 1500 or less defense from my deck to my hand. Most of these allows me to get any of my valid targets from the deck. And for the last card on the list, I'm using Magistus Maiden Artemis. She's my link 1 that allows me to end up building off my combos. I preferably use her to go off of either Mystical Elf or Rod or even Soul, so that way I can get the link 1. This is helping me to get more spellcasters in the grave that can facilitate for other combos later on. And that's my list.
And we're back, everybody. How about those deck profiles? Am I right? Anyway,
Holy shit, you made it through the last one? Wow, impressive.
good job.
Guys,
Hey,
Felt like I died twice.
yeah.
hey, I'll make sure you stay dead. Even though you're a zombie, I'll make sure to exterminate you.
All right, so you guys got any
I feel
final
like
words?
uh
Anything
I
you'd like to say to the
I
people?
I would say I feel confident. I'm not gonna say like I'm not overconfident, but I'm like I I feel like we were gonna do good.
Okay, fair. Anybody else?
I
Me,
shall make. Oh,
Probably
I'll
should
say
stop
this.
streaming.
I'll just say this. As I said before, if they don't kill me, the aneurysm will kill them.
That's fair.
my voice will make them want to strangle me.
Likely true.
That's 2/3 of our strategy is annoying our opponent to death.
Well, it seems like that also is your opponent's theme for their whole thing. So once those videos come out, you guys will get to know that about each
I-
other.
They're gonna want to tear me from limb to limb.
All I gotta say is, if there are any white lizards out there, I'm coming for you.
Damn, bro.
But Dart, can I ask you a question or another one?
Sure.
After watching all the decks now, which do you have any, or not all of them? There's another team after us, but of the us and the team we're facing, do you have any one that you're like, I this this one probably do a little bit better, or are you rooting for anyone, or
He's rooting for himself.
Well,
He's rooting for the views.
to be fair,
yeah,
I've not seen everything yet, but from what I've seen so far, I'm I'm interested to I'm gonna throw this out there, and I'm very sorry to you guys. I kind of hope you guys lose because there's a duel that I really want to have against the people that you're facing. Uh, so
Skeleton shall not be beaten.
I
I mean, yeah,
apologize,
fair.
but Alex is playing a deck and I'm playing a deck, and those decks are very similar, and I really want to have the mirror match.
So what you're
I
saying
mean,
is
you
the
could always.
ultimate annoyance is to make sure this match doesn't happen. So my goal is set.
I mean, you can always go in the losers bracket.
No, I don't plan to lose. I don't plan to lose.
Nobody plans to lose, Dark.
That doesn't matter.
Well, we'll see. We'll make it easy for them. I'll say that.
Okay, well hey, fair enough. I hope not.
I'll make them bleed.
Okay, well don't do
Whether
that.
it's from no, whether it's from their eyes, their nose, or their ears, there will be blood.
Okay, well, fair enough. I could see that working out. Well, you guys got any other final things you want to say before we send it off?
If our opponent dies in the middle of the duel, we have the win, right?
I would say that would probably disqualify you if anything, because it would be your fault.
We're
What
We're
if
not
I'm already dead?
we're not
I don't
doing
know.
Duelist Kingdom rules. Damn, you know,
I just
you're not like Pegasus.
No,
just
more of
need
a
to
Seto
verify. Because
Kaiba, if anything.
I just need to verify because there was someone who had a heart attack in a regional and they gave it to their opponent.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pray that none of our friends die in the making of this tournament.
No one said they die. I just said hospitalized.
Okay,
All
I don't
right.
think that was the case. Anyway, I should probably send this thing off before, like, everyone hates you guys. Anyway,
That's too late. Too
I,
late.
give it up one
I'm
final
stuck here
time.
with these two gremlins.
Give it up one final time for the Slifer Slackers, the first team to sign up for the Hive Team Dueling Grand Championship. Appreciate you guys coming out today, and we'll see you guys in the tournament.
All right.
Bye.